All right, guys, what's going on? Just wanted to talk about a few earnings movers this morning. One of the biggest ones here this morning was UPS. I have the 124 call on that. As you can see, UPS blew it out of the water. They doubled their expectations. Stock was at about 124 at the close. We went all the way up here to 138 this morning. And now we're pulling in quite a bit. What's to be expected? People taking some profit. So we want to watch this level here. Again, this is all-time highs, but below this 133 area, because then it's going to take us back down to 131. Another big move this morning is Procter & Gamble. They had some very good earnings this morning as well. I have the 132 call on that. We went up to 132 here, and again, this is at all-time highs as well, just over all-time highs at 129, I believe, was all-time highs on that. We pulled into 130. Home, another one. If you could have grabbed this thing back at the low of the pandemic, at the big sell-off here in mid-March, the thing was under $1.50. Now we just hit 16. We're pulling back into 13. I grabbed the $10 calls last week. Still holding those. If we look at the chart at home, let's look at that real quick. So you can see here we had this, you got this gap area right over, about right here where it gapped down back in last May, below 1077. And as you can see this morning, we tapped all the way up to 16. So the gap right there at the bottom of that gap fill right there is 1740. So we kind of pulled in right to that area. So we filled that whole gap, and now it's pulling in, which I don't like that. But it still looks strong. I think we need to get back over this kind of congestion area right here this morning between, say, 1420 down to 13. Another one that's on home. O'Reilly was another great earnings this morning. I meant to take that yesterday, and I didn't take it. I wanted to. It was very expensive, but this thing was at 457, gapped all the way up here to 490. Let me double check on the chart. Look at the monthly. I believe that is all-time highs as well. Yep. So all-time highs on O'Reilly. I got an order in for the 520 calls for next week. See if anything wants to continue going up that way. Yeah, Qualcomm's another one, Brandon. I got the, what did I have on Qualcomm? I have the 100 calls as well. Yep. Yes, sir. So, they've been worth at least $3.50 at a minimum. I paid $1.60 for them. I got the September 4th. So I paid $1.60. Now they're worth at a minimum $3.50. So they're going to be probably worth a lot more than that. What's up, Straight Ballin'? How you doing, man? Just going some pre-market movers here. Got up real early this morning, which I usually do, but I decided to do a live stream. I haven't done one in a while. EDSA got some virus news. Of course, that was a penny stock. It was down here at $5, and this thing's up here to 15. What a monster. I didn't mess with it. I did take INO this morning and in my other account, and I'm down on that. I got it at 23. Let's look at the daily on this EDSA. So this thing's up to 15. As you can see, we've had these random spike ups. You know, every time it gets flushed back down. Every time flushed back down. Get a little ramp here. Went from $3 to $9 for a week or so. Back down. Just a month or so ago, up to 10 and back. So we're at 15. You know, now if it wants to go over here 17, then we can draw the chart a little more. I mean, this thing's been going straight down here for years and years. They got some vaccine news. I don't know if it's, you know, you can interpret it how you want. They got an IND application for phase 2, phase 3 COVID study. A study. Okay, now of their investigational drug. So we'll see what happens. Right here is the PR on it. So that's EDSA. Hey, no problem. You're welcome, Straight Baller, man. Kodak. Of course, everybody knows what's been going on with Kodak the last couple of days, since they're going to use some of their film or ingredients that they use to develop film to make contents for pharmaceuticals. I mean, this thing's just been a monster. I got this at $7 the other morning. Okay, I saw it pre-market at 4, didn't take it, got it at 7, and sold at so where did I get it at 7? I got it over here at 7 yesterday morning. I can't remember yesterday or the day before. Anyway, I sold it at 17, and then moved on to something else, and then next thing you know, it went all the way to $60. And it sold off big time yesterday, and we're still hanging around here at 41. I don't know. I mean, they got a loan to develop this from the government. Obviously, that's why it's popping. 18 million float. So it's hard to tell where that thing goes. Some other big movers this morning was Candy, continuation from yesterday, and 361 all the way up here to 20. This was we're bringing some, I don't know, saying going to bring electric vehicles to market. So I'm a chart guy. I mean, we're up here to $20. Let's look at the monthly chart here. I mean, all-time highs on this thing's 22, and we tapped what, 19. So if this thing wants to break over 18, may take a look at 1850 for a move towards the 22 mark. But just beware that the float's heavily rotated in this thing, and if they want to drop the bid down, they can. This thing will drop $5 in an instant. Again, just be careful on that. Playing your own little trade there. Another one here. Let's look at what's that other one here? This is Trade Ideas I use here on the left-hand side. MLCO. That was decent. All right. No, nothing there. So FedEx running with UPS, obviously. Again, that's pulling back in. I have the 170 calls on FedEx. I'm going to order out to sell those. They expire tomorrow. My UPS calls don't expire until next Friday. Again, this little UPS sell-off here from the highs of 138 this morning, we're okay. I'm ordering to sell that at 13. Let's look at some other ones here. Let's look at some ones that are moving to the downside. Ones that are moving to the downside here. SPPI, I think is always a nightmare. And I tend to be more of a large cap trader, but I trade small caps, mid caps. I do options. More of a large cap. I kind of do them all, but I do gravitate towards large caps. Appreciate you guys stopping by. All right, let's do this. Let's look at the biggest gaps down. All right. Now, remember, this one popped up big time yesterday, and I guess that was before the earnings, and then went to 470. Now we're back down in the 420s here. So I guess the market didn't like their earnings. JNUG, all the inverse metal plays are down today, so you want to keep an eye on like ZSL, which is inverse silver. You used to have the USLV and the DSLV, but they got rid of those leverage ETFs. I hate that, just because some people don't want to take the time to study and learn what they are. All right, let's go back here and put that up. Volume. BNTX, 61,000 volume, 63 million share float, down to 79.10. So if BNTX wants to break this 75.65 area, you got a little gap there, $5 gap. So accessibility concern. I'm just looking for what the headline is, why it's down there. Publication of phase 1 data. I guess he didn't like it. AZM was another one on the move this morning as well. They're still doing virus trials. Yeah, Brandon. I'm still on the QCOM calls. Yes, they're the 100 calls. I think. I'm down to 1. Yeah, they don't expire for another month, so I have time. But I do have an order in to sell them. There it is there. So that's the Qualcomm $100 call, but it don't expire until September 4th. So got just over a month to go. So plenty of time on that. So it's not like I have to sell because I think it's going much higher. So heads up on that. Let's look at some more downside movers. TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor. That might not be good for the Qualcomm. Maybe that's why it's dragging that back down from the highs. But, you know, this thing's holding up very well, Qualcomm. There's TSM. And then we have that gap down there towards 75, but probably not going to trade on that one. EDC. Let's go back to Procter & Gamble. So got to get rid of FedEx. I got Vail. That's another one. That's a 12.5 calls on that. This thing, I sold the 12s. These are the 12.5s expiring tomorrow. Down below 12 here, so probably get out break even on them. CLF, I don't know if they reported this morning or this evening. No, they reported this morning. It's kind of a mixed bag here. I like the chart set up on it here. So we get a little push. We get up here to 618, the 200-day moving average. And then over that would take us up towards the 670s on CLF. Hershey, was reporting. I had the 150s on Hershey. No, nothing there. Still holding on those. I got so many here. Don't forget, after the bell day, we got Apple, we got Google, and we got Amazon. So it's going to be a big after-hours earnings report this evening. Lots of big tech companies reporting. I had the Amazon 3000 call, and I sold it. Where is it? Amazon's just under 3, right around there, I believe. 3021. So that's going to be pretty volatile today. Anybody see Tupperware yesterday? Look at this big mover. Tupperware, yes, it makes it Tupperware plastic bowls. This thing went from $9, it pulled a double one all the way up to like 19 yesterday. It's crazy. Excuse me, not 19. It went to 16.60 still. Made a monster move. ORLY, PYPL, Palladium, huh? Yeah, all the metals are dropping today. So keep an eye on that ZSL I talked about. That's the inverse silver play. And that thing's popping. We're at 1080 and we went all the way to $12 pre-market this morning. So definitely keep an eye on that. And actually yesterday it was the low. And things have been going good since March, since we've rebounded from the lows. But I'm taking a look at the VIX now. We're back sitting right here on the 200-day. If you look at the bottom chart, the 200-day moving average on the VIX. It might not be a bad time to add some protection to your portfolio to hedge with, and in case the bottom drops out, something happens, they don't get this extra stimulus plan approved, whatever. But may add some cheap upside calls. I'd be looking for at least $10 out of the money and a month or so out to give you some time exposure on that, or if you just wanted to buy buy it outright. But I've been looking at that a lot. BGFE, this was the sporting goods store. They reported a good quarter yesterday, and still holding up very well. I have the 7.5 calls on it. I'm looking for a continuation here. You kind of see we chopped around this base yesterday afternoon once we made this big move, and then between 680 and 650, and we're kind of still holding that. And we have plenty of room to move back to the upside here on this thing. So $8 would be the next target on this that I'll be looking at. this one here. QCOM. AMT. All right, AMT. I was looking at on another screen over here. American Tower. This is a company that builds cell phone towers. So with the new 5G rollout, they're going to be pretty busy. Again, the stock's up here at all-time highs, and they beat estimates here this morning. Nobody's hardly even traded it. This only got just under 2,000 shares in volume, but I can tell you, so it surpasses estimates, beat estimates. We can pull it up here real quick. Profit came in at $446 a share, compares with $429 or 96 per share. So nice little beat. Looking good. 1.1 billion from 1.9 billion. So the revenue just rose slightly compared to last year by what, a half a billion dollars. That's still quite a bit. 500 million. I'll take it. But I like that play going forward. GLW, that's Corning. They make the glass for the iPhones. And they reported, it was kind of a mixed bag here this morning. Stock shot up to 33. Not sure what's going to happen with it this morning. Got the 31 calls on it. So I'm looking for kind of a move back up here over pre-market highs. The target on this is 32.50. But if this thing wants to push, then I see no problem getting up to 33, 34. Keep an eye on that one. That's GLW Corning. A few other Square. Okay, so Square payment company. PayPal reported this morning and blew it out. I mean, they're up at all-time highs, so that's going to help Square to rise as well. PayPal, so they were at 184, now we're at 192. Again, all-time highs, so the resistance will be there at 196 for the pre-market break, or here when the market opens up here in about 10 minutes. So I got that. UPS, I'm just so happy about that 124 call. And when I got it, I think that, the stock was at 120, 118. I bought it on the beginning of the week or late last week. And so again, the stock went to 138 and all-time highs for UPS. The previous was 135 and change. And then 138.3 was the pre-market high when I did that this morning. Now it is, see on the 5-minute chart. Yep, just over 138. So we're holding it nicely on that. I like it. That's going to be awesome. Any stocks you guys want me to pull up or take a look at real quick? I just want to do a quick little pre-market stream this morning. We got about 11 minutes till the market opens. So I'll go for about another 5 minutes if anybody has any particular ones they want me to look at. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Yeah. Fetch is another one to keep an eye on as well. I think it's just looking strong. Looking for move to 28 on that here shortly. Trex, the fake, the recycled wood deck maker, makes those plank boards. 139 just keeps on getting it. USX, the trucking company, Fastenal. There was, I'm holding those. I have the 47.50 calls. The stock's at 45.71. Well, if there's no other questions or anybody that want me to look at any particular stock, just want to do that. And again, please like and subscribe and come on back and be notified and click the bell when I upload new content. Thank you guys for stopping by. See you next time.